What is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and watch Netflix. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It was officially announced today by Netflix that we are getting a Conan the Barbarian TV series on Netflix. You know, I have my problems with Netflix, I really do, especially after canceling the Dark Crystal Rise of Resistance, the Age of Resistance show, which I'm very salty about. I am incredibly salty that they canceled the Dark Crystal. Drives me goddamn mad, but still, like, they still have a lot of original content that I enjoy, like Camp Cretaceous was good, The Witcher, but yeah, I still have my problems with Netflix, and every time I think about canceling Netflix, it's they pull me back in with something cool, and a Conan TV series is a good way to drag me back into the fold, because holy shit, I was not expecting this today. I was in no way expecting to see a Conan the Barbarian TV show announced on Netflix. Now, keep in mind, they have not announced anything else. They're currently seeking a writer and director. I hope they're going to get somebody good. Like, I hope they get somebody who knows their way around, that kind of era. I personally would love to see a animated... And also, speaking of Netflix shows, we're also getting a Netflix anime... It's not an animated movie, it's an animated series for Resident Evil called Resident Evil Infinite Darkness, which sounds a hell of a lot better than that live-action garbage that Gravity Falls ripoff that is coming to to Netflix as well. You can probably guess which one of these Resident Evil shows I'm more excited for, right? So yeah, but getting back to my point, getting Conan a live-action series would be cool. I'm kind of hoping maybe they'll say, like, oh, because they just said series. They didn't say, like, if it was animated or not. So I'm curious. I am curious to see if I am very curious to see if this will be animated. Although, honestly, I think, now that I think about it, I think it is going to be live action. But wouldn't it be great if they got Gennady Tartakovsky, the guy who created Primal and Samurai Jack, to do a Conan the Barbarian animated series? Like, no, think about it. Like, when you look at Primal, it makes you go, yeah, I want Gennady to do a Conan series. I want him to do a Conan the Barbarian series. So, yeah. I'm very excited. I'm also curious if this is going to be under the Marvel title. I don't think it is, because even though Marvel owns the comic rights, the actual rights to Conan the Barbarian could go to anyone. And also, if this was going... Also, then again, I do take that back. I don't think a Conan series would work well on Disney Plus, if you know what I mean. So, I'm very, I'm wondering, obviously this is going to be more adult, which you do not tone down Conan. Conan the Destroyer is a perfect example of why you don't tone down Conan. Jesus Christ. Can't talk. But But I'm also wondering, who's going to be in this show? Are you going to have Thulsa Doom? Are you going to have, Kulan Gath? Are you going to have all those characters in there, or are you going to go more original route? I would also be fine if they actually, now that I think about it, I would not be opposed to this show going the route of Samurai Jack or Lone Wolf and Cub or even The Mandalorian, where you have a one-and-done stories. It's like a Conan... Because that's the whole story of Conan. He doesn't really have a story arc or whatever. This is Conan in general. He goes around and gets money, fucks bitches, and fucks shit up, and then goes on his merry way to the next adventure. That's literally his whole deal, is that he just wanders into shit. He's not, going on these epic quests. He's just out to look for money, booze, and women. And then he goes on to the next adventure. So you literally could just do a Conan show of each episode of him going on, this hour-long adventure, and that would be Conan the Barbarian. That's straight... that would be straight up Conan the Barbarian right there. It also makes me wonder of who could you cast? Because obviously, Arnold Schwarzenegger is Conan. Sorry, Jason Momoa, you were not Conan the Barbarian. But I'm hoping they have, like, I doubt it'll be a King Conan series. It'd be cool if it was. Like, wouldn't it be so great if they went, psych, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger back as Conan, as old man Conan the Barbarian. Wouldn't that be great, though? I doubt that'll happen, but wouldn't it be so cool if it was? And it's a King Conan series? Oh, that'd be great. But but realistically, I think they're just going to recast again. I don't know who you could get to play Conan. But I would love to see Arnold in the show. I would like to see Arnold have a role in the show. That's the big thing I would like to see, is have give Arnold like a role in like an episode or maybe a recurring character, because he's wanted to go back to Conan the Barbarian above all else. And I think this would be a nice way to like maybe he can be like he could play Conan's dad, because maybe we can actually do the original story of Conan being born on the battlefield, and Arnold can play Conan's father in the midst of a battlefield while his wife's giving birth to Conan. That'd be a neat send-off. Like, that would be a neat little trade-off. Like, it'd be a symbolic, okay, now you're Conan, you are Conan the Barbarian now. But yeah. So, I'm excited. Like I said, Netflix knows how to piss me off, and at the same time, they know how to bring me back. Like, hey, we canceled this epic, the epic Emmy-winning, Emmy-winning show in The Dark Crystal, and I'm like, fuck y'all, I'm out. Hey, we're doing a Conan series. I'm right back. So where do I sit? Where do you want me to sit and watch this show? So yeah. So I know a lot of you guys out there are Conan the Barbarian fans. I know a lot of you guys on my channel are super Conan the Barbarian fans. And I have no doubt in my mind that a certain kid from Mount Vernon who's watching this video right now probably is going to do his own video on this and give his own thoughts on the matter, which Chris, if you're watching, I'm waiting with bated breath to see your thoughts and see you geek out over a Conan series. Because you, like me, grew up with those movies and those stories. And it's, another thing is, Conan, I'm not a big fantasy guy. I take some exception with fantasy, but, like, the real ones I'm very interested in are, like, D&D, Lord of the Rings, and Conan the Barbarian. That's and also some other stuff with fantasy, obviously with Owl House and all that, but, like, the major ones, like, I really deep dive into in terms of fantasy are just those three things. Sorry, Harry Potter, you don't belong here. Especially after J.K. Rowling, but it's neither here nor there. So, anyway, you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of this announcement for a Conan the Barbarian TV show? Are you guys excited? Are you guys not? Just comment below, let me know. Once again, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.